welcome to the Bahnar Tukrong new. Right now, the first I'd like to say thank to God and thank you. You have watching to my channel today. Today I want to say and to talk about short story, the Old Testament with Abraham, friend of God. And also I want to read for us, understand about Abraham, friend of God. Because we believe the long time and the past and the sentence in the future, the same. And we have different country around the world, different language. But right now I use a bit English for everyone around the world to understand about short story. Now I read the Old Testament tell the stories of God dealing with His people in good, account and bad, and His content cared for them. God chose Abraham to be the father of the Hebrew nation. God to some people, I will give you many descendants. God promised him. Wow. And they will become a great nation. Abraham trusts God, and God keep his promise. You can find the stories in your own Bible in Genesis, beginning at chapter 12. And so I don't explain translate for us, I only read below the link and the lines right now. Abraham and his wife Sarah lived in the towns of Ur in the land of Babylon. One day God told him to leave his home to go to a new land, a land which God would give to Abraham and his family. Abraham and Sarah had no children, but God said, I will give this new land to you and your children and their children after them. You will be my people. Abraham was getting old, but he believed God promised that he and Sarah would one day have a child. So they got ready for the journey. They purchased their clothes and food. They said goodbye to all their friends and they set off. God promised with Abraham right now we will true and really and trust and obey with God. God not forsake us. Abraham and Sarah has no map. Wow, no map. If no map and we no have the ways, but God plan and God make the way for them. God show them the way. Wow. It was a long journey, and at night they put up a big tent to sleep in one, and on days when those many country, Abraham managed country. Abraham and Sarah's words both all, but still they had no children. God said to them, look at the ground and dust on the path. Look at the star above your stand at night. One day your family will be as many as stars, to as many the corn. And still Abraham trusts God. And so right now Abraham, grandfather of us, and our grandfathers, right now, no stop, and we can believe in God. And we can believe in God, trust and obey. God, miracles, ultimates, can do everything. And so, they were glad when they came to the New Land. It had been such a long journey, there was no house to live in, so they lived in the hospital. One day Abraham saw some man going. Please come in and sit down. He said, we will get you something to eat. That would be good, said the man, because we have an important message for you. Your wife Sarah is going to have a baby boy. Sarah had what they said and Lord, it is too late. She said, we are too old now. Yes, correct. We are right now, but God can do everything. Almighty, powerful. We can believe in God. Can do everything. God was sorry that Sarah did not believe in man. He had sent, but soon Sarah knew that the message was true. She was going to have a baby. Perhaps nothing is too hard for God, he said. That's not too hard for God. Too hard for people, for persons, for bodies, but God, very easy. When the baby bird was born, Abraham and Sarah were very happy. They called him Isaac. God had kept his promise. Wow, very happy. And so Abraham and Sarah loved their little son. They watched him play outside the town. The years passed. Isaac grew up tall and strong. His parents were very proud of him. They thanked God for keeping his promise. God always keeping his promise. And so we can believe God. God had given Abraham a new land, and he has given him a son. How Abraham loved Isaac. God loved Abraham, but he wanted to make sure that Abraham trusts him just as much as when he had first come to the new land. And God tests the heart of Abraham. So God said to Abraham, take his son, you love so much, and go to the mountain. You can see I want you to offer him to me as a sacrifice. Wow. God tests the heart of Abraham love about his sons. But God now clear the bottom of Abraham's heart. And Abraham always trust and obey. First, Abraham, he wished there was some other way to show God his love, but he obeys God. He took a stamp to the mountains with some firewood and a snap. Firewood and now. And so we now cleared and God tests about us the hard and difficult. But God follow and we believe and we ask God always and say afraid, please forgive me, maybe, and God can do everything. Isaac looked at the heap of stone on the mountain. He saw the nuts and the wood. What shall we offer to God on the stone to show that we love Him? He asked. Isaac asked Abraham, his father. Abraham was very sad, but he told Isaac that they must trust God to give them something to put on the stone. And we know God can do everything, the same Jesus Christ. Only Son, but God can do everything. God did not want Isaac to die. He did not want Abraham and Sarah to be unhappy. He just wanted to be sure that Abraham would still trust and obey him. Abraham put Isaac on top on the stone. He picked up the knife to kill Isaac. Then God called, Abraham, stop. Look, I have given you the animal in the birds behind you. God can do everything right now, so I turn and I read short story about Abraham, friend of God. God knew now that Abraham really did trust him. He would obey whatever the course. Abraham and Isaac were so happy they thanked God as they made the sacrifice. They talked about what had happened. As they went down the mountain, they were so glad that they could trust God and as God had promised to Isaac and his children Abraham. Family did become a great nation. And so I read about story, Abraham, friend of God. Friend of God right now. Think big, small, short, and everything the creature had happened around the world. Only God. Another God. Only God. Because God loved us. Love. So love. Very love. So much. About Old Testament stories, New Testament stories, we have 39 books, the Bible, Hebrew language, and we have Greek language 27. And we have 66. Very most important for us. Very, very respect. Right now, so I say about the guards. If you see this channel about myself right now, I say welcome and continue. We can to meet a lot and say goodbye. Thank you for watching. Amen.